Hi, good day everyone, and welcome to another modeling episode in Unreal Engine 5. This time we will do this fortress entrance. So we will start making the mesh, setting up the material, and maybe you already can see it. There's a displacement inside to make it looking more real, looking like a 3D. So I think we can start. As comparison, we can do for sure this kind of box here. This box has a height of 180 centimeters. So this could be a person. And this is the indicator how big shall the door can be. So as you can see, many persons can go through here, or higher person or higher objects, for example. So this is always helpful when you have this kind of box here. All right, so let's start with making our first box. We go to the modeling section. We take the box and we take the values 2000 centimeters, 200 centimeters, and 6 meters as high. Oops, 600 centimeters. And we click on the ground and we accept. And now we will do our entrance. So we can always use our human here with a height of 180 centimeters for alignment. So we go on the mesh. This time we will do two time the polycut function. One time we will do it with the circle. So we need to rotate it that we can cut through. I will rotate by 90 degrees. The values can be seen here at the corner. I will move it a little bit more to the top, somewhere like this here, for example, maybe a little bit below. This looks not so bad. I like this here, this height. And I can accept. I have a width of 400 and a subdivisions of 30. Default is, I think, 12, yes. And you can see with 12 you have a much corner, so 12 edges. And to make it more smooth, you can use 30 or even 40, doesn't matter. Maybe we can use 40 this time. This looks good. I will cut through by clicking on accept. Nice. And now we can do the same polycut operation again, but instead of circle, we take now the square. We have the same value of 400. We rotate it by 90 degrees again. And we will adjust it at the height that we have a smooth combining the first polycut with the second one, that it looks smooth like this, for example. This looks good. And we accept, and we finished our entrance. Seems like this entrance is much higher than the old or the former one, but this doesn't matter. Now we can think about how to do the top of this wall. There are many ways. I will show you my way, or my favorite way. So we take a box again, go on create box, and this time we take the values. Let me see what I had before. I had before 100, 200, and 150. And we click here. So the idea is this person here is standing on this wall here, something like this, and can look above. So to do this, we need to cut through. We will do this by clicking on the mesh in the modeling section, going to the model polygroup edit function. We will use the insert edge loops 2 times, and we will try to make it symmetrical as possible. So we see 10 cubes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cubes. And I will put this first section after 2 cubes from the left. and after 2 cubes from the right. And I have my new face. I click on done. I can use now the new face. I click on it. I use push and pull, and I will pull it nearly to the bottom, somewhere here, for example. This looks good. This is nice. And now the person can walk on it. Something like this, for example. Can look above. Something like this. Very good. Now we can continue with the second cut here. So we take our mesh, we go to polygroup edit function again. We set again 2 times NZ edge loop, 1 time nearly here in the middle. I have 5 cubes, so 2.5 cube is the middle. And as high you can choose whatever you like. I think I choose 2.5 cubes from the top, like this, and I click on done. Now I can work with the new face, this one. I click on it, push and pull, and I can pull it through until here, and I click and I accept, and I have already the first part. Now I can start putting it to the top of the wall. There are 2 ways how to do it. You can align it step by step, which needs a very good view. There's a trick how to do it as well. It doesn't work all the time, but sometimes it works very good. So you need to take the coordinate system. So you go to the center, clicking the middle mouse button, and then you can already, as you can see, move it around, and you bring it to the corner. And after this, doesn't work, I will do it again. And after this, you can take it again, and this time you hold down the alternative button with the V button, and then you can see these blue corners everywhere, and I can choose this blue corner here, and now my coordination system is on the corner and I can align it better. So now I can move it and hold down the V button, and I go to this area here and now align it with this area. I will do the same with the red axis. I move it, hold down the V button. I'll go to this area or this face and it's aligned. And I will do the same with the green one. Move it, hold down the V button, and I align it, and now it's perfectly aligned. This looks very good. So we can continue now doing the pattern, just like in the back. So we click on our mesh. We go to X-form pattern. As you can see, I already have the values inside. So what we need shape is line. In my direction, is it the Y axis, X, Y, Z, it's Y axis. And this is very important. I think default, let me click on default. Default is by count, but this will not work for us. We will use the step size, and step size is 100 because our shape had the measure of 100 from the left to the right. And we will do it for the whole length, and the whole length of our big wall is 20 meters, so 2000 centimeters. And when we put those values inside, we see it end up correctly. Very good. This looks nice, so we can accept it. This is very good. Now you can see we still have 2 meshes, even more, because the former one, which had been used to do the pattern, is still there. This doesn't matter, we can delete it. We don't need it any longer. Now we have 2 meshes. Now we will combine we have 2 boxes, let me say, firstly. Now we will combine the 2 boxes to one by going to X-form and merge. And we accept. Now we have only one component which we can move, but you will see if you go to the view, clicking by lid and wireframe, you will see that there are not really one mesh. You see here, I don't know if it's visible. I hope it's visible. So here are many lines, and if this should be one mesh, then you don't need these lines. And there's a trick how to do it. So we need to, let me go back to lid. You need to go to the mesh and click on union. Boolean union the selected meshes, including self-union to resolve self-intersections. So let's see how this then looks like. Let me go again the wireframe. Let me take a good view. I hope it's a good view. Let me think about a good view, something like this maybe. So I see here there are a lot of edges, and when I click on union, I click on accept. Then I see those edges no longer, so I can go through now with the camera. Looking at the top, there are no edges here. So the two components have now the same mesh and can be used as the same and only mesh, which is pretty good. We can come back to the lid view. Now we can assign the material. We will use from the content drawer the material from the starter content, the material brick clay old. I click on it and I assign it to the mesh. Then it looks like this. As we can see, we have now tiny or small materials and bigger ones. This is adjustable. We click on our mesh, we go to UVs and we click on project UVs. And we need to take here as projection type the box. Default is plan. So we take the box. And now you can take or adjust the dimensions. Let me click on default for now. We have 100, 100, 100 as default values. It looks too small for me. So I had 150, 150, and 150. This looks much better, and I accept. This looks pretty good. Now we can take a look here on the top. This looks not so nice. So in reality, this would be not available here, what we see, I think. But this is adjustable as well. So we go back to the project UVs. We take again our values, 150, 150, and 150. And this time you see the box is available here or visible here with the coordination system. And I take the blue line and I can move this box up and down and adjust my UVs. I will do it like it looks like in reality. I think something like this should be looking in reality. And I accept. This looks now much better, I think. I will use this. And now we want to do the displacement. To do the displacement, we need polygons to be moved. So let's go again to the wireframe view to see this. We see a lot of polygons here had been used to do the displacement or to moving the stones. So we need more polygons to do it. To do this, we can go to mesh, clicking on remesh. And as default, we see 5,000. So he will do 5,000 polygons for this component, which is a little bit too less. We need the points on the stones to be moved. So we need much more. Let me start with 50,000. And this looks much better. I think we can leave it 50,000. This looks good. And we can accept. This is okay now. And now we can go and try to displace it by clicking on deform, clicking on displace. And now I have already the values, everything is inside, but let me go put it on default that you can see how it was before. So this is the default view when you come inside. It looks very futuristic because of the displacement type polynose, but we will need the so-called texture 2D, because now you can use a texture for the normal mapping. And the good thing is with the starter content, you have for each and every material already the textures here inside. So you click on starter content, textures, and then you can choose the texture of your material, which is the brick clay old. And now this is very important. We need the so-called normal mapping, and this would be this texture here. So we click on it and can assign it. It's already assigned. And now you have 4 different channels which can be used. And in normal case, it is always the blue channel, which is the correct channel. So when you choose each channel, then you will see what will happen. And when you choose the blue channel, you see hopefully good enough that the stones are coming to the front a little bit. So it looks like more like a 3D pattern. You can adjust it a little bit more by playing with the subdivisions. So maybe we can do 5 and see how this looks like. Shall be looking more realistic. This is much better, I think. So this looks very good. With failure here inside, this was very good. I like this view here. You see here a lot of realistic stones, or more than before, so it's not flat. For sure you can play with the display intensity, maybe a little more. Let's try 12. What will happen? Oops. Let's take a look. So this looks even more just like real stones. We can leave it like this. Let me take a look how this looks here. Very nice. I like it. We can leave it like this. Let me compare it to the old one. I think I had it, as I remember correctly, 8. And I think I had it here, subdivision 6. Let me see how this will looks like. It needs a little bit. Yeah, this looks good as well. So you can play with the values and take the values you like. Maybe we leave subdivision 6 and maybe go back to 10. And then I think this should be our final version for today. This looks good. Yes, we will leave it like this. I like it. And we can already accept. Now it takes a little while because we have a lot of polygons, which has to be calculated, which is totally normal. And we will adjust it in 1 second after my PC finished the calculation. It takes a while. Now he's loading. My PC is not the fastest one, so I hope with your PC it getting faster. Seems like my display's intensity was a little bit too high, but now he's finished. This looks good. So now you can, if you move it, auto-saving, if you move it, you will maybe recognize it's not smoothly because you have a lot of polygons now inside. Now maybe we can take a look how much polygons we have here inside by going to mesh and inspect. We will see the numbers. Seems like it's a very huge number. My PC, it's trying to calculate. So this is the polygon view now. And let me take a picture with snapping tool to compare it after we do the operation. So we have T is triangles, vertices and edges. We have 1.5 million vertices, which is really, really much. But this we can decrease by going on mesh, going on simplify. It will load the mesh. will take a while with my PC, but I think he managed to do it. And now I have here the opportunity to choose the simplifier type. So it can be this one here, faster standard quadric error metric. I use this all the time. So we will use it here again. And then you have the opportunity to choose the target mode. So is it percentage, triangles, vertex, or edge? I always use the percentage target mode. And now this is very important here. Target percentage means 100%, nothing will happen. Same polygons numbers as before, nothing will happen. And in my experience, you can reduce it to, let me type it inside, to 20. He's loading a little bit, to 20. Yeah, I think my PC has to load again. Let's give him 1-2 seconds. I hope he will not crash. Seems like I will need a new PC in the future. Nothing happens currently. Oh, maybe I can accelerate a little bit with the PC. Let me see. This is very good. And now we have only 20% of the former polygons number, 20%. And as we can see, they are still too high because our displacement is still looking very good, very, very good. So I think we can even decrease it a little bit more. Maybe we can go to 10%. Let's see how this will looks like. My PC fan is now at high speed. He's working and working. Here you can already see the new values for triangle, vertices, and edges. Before we had it 100%, now we will have only the 10% of the former one. And I think with the 10% we should be fine. This looks now still looking very good. Yes, this is very good. This looks like a very good displacement. I have the feeling we can even go below 10%. There are still a lot of polygons here inside. So if you want, you can even go below, but for now, for the video, I think we can accept it. So I will accept. And now we used only the 10% of the former one. Let me show you the screenshot again. Here you can see it. Before we had it 1.5 million vertices, and now we have only 150 vertices. So it's really 10%, and it runs much smoother now. Let's try to move it again. Now, where is it? There it is. This looks much better. So this is how you can reduce the polygons if you don't need too much. And I'm sure you can even reduce here to 5% because it is still looking very, very good. Looks like it's 3D. This is very nice. That was the modeling section for this time. If you like my video, please give me a thumb up and subscribe. And let me know if we should maybe even continue with the fortress, doing more stuff for the fortress, maybe a huge one together. Let me know this in the comment lines and the comment section. And thank you very much and see you next time. Bye bye.